Good morning. Is it? It's morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am doing today's live from my desktop, which is quite different for me. Normally, I'm doing it from my telephone. So this is quite new for me to be doing this video posting. Um, Hello, brother. Is that's you, At? Okay, that's you. Look, I'm doing this from my desktop, so and not from my phone, so it's a little bit different for me. But I'm gonna get used to it. I'm working it out. It's a little different, and I cannot even see. Okay, after I get done inviting friends, I assume I'll be able to see the comments here. So please do like, share, and tag. Yes, that is you, At. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Elise, thank you for joining. DeQuincy, thank you for joining, sir. Please like, share, and tag. Please do. I wanted to get on here. I know it is Tuesday. I know it is 11 o'clock. Normally, I try to get on at 12 or later. Hello, Chrissy. How are you? Thank you for joining this morning. I had to get on here today because yesterday I had an interesting conversation with a gentleman, and it blew my mind. It blew my entire world. I said, I have to get on. I have to tell the people about this experience. It literally blew my mind like that. I said we have to do something as a people. Like it literally blew my entire mind. I said we have to do better as a people. So I had to get on today. It was just not getting on was simply not an option. Hello, Dante. How are you doing, sir? So yesterday I was talking to a gentleman. He's a father. Him and a lady has a child together. She was a teenager. I believe she was around 15, 16 years old. Him and the mother, they have an estranged relationship, obviously. He does not know where the child resides. So the mother does not allow him to know where they reside. And he does not pay child support through the courts. He pays money directly to the mother. He has his own business, so his attitude towards the system is literally, hello, Clifton, how are you? Sir, thank you for joining us. His attitude towards the system, and he said it, is, F y'all. Y'all not going to tell me how to raise my child and what I'm not doing and what I need to be doing, and etc. I mean, he was very explicit, in what his attitude was, towards the system. But I run into fathers like this all of the time who had just had enough of the system. They're like, look, the system is broken. The system doesn't know the entire situation. The other mother, hello, Victoria, how are you doing? The mother goes in with the story, the system believes it. So, he has his own construction business. He's like, I just pay the mother, give her money. He said yesterday he was purchasing his daughter a new bedroom set. He has a pickup truck, but and the mother has a Corolla. And instead of the mother allowing him to put the items in his, yes, she was Victoria, in his pickup truck, she was going to put the mattress on her Corolla, ding dong, which is dead, and have some neighbors of hers try to put the bedroom suit in their back seat. I said, this story is just completely distorted. And so I told I told them, you two clearly need to come into my office and see me. This relationship, and the daughter, just a sweet young lady. You can tell. She is just sitting there shaking her head like, I'm so used to these two dummies. It just makes no sense. It's like she was the adult and they were the children. Like, obviously. Like, it was so insane. True story. He said, I've been paying her under the table, doing whatever. Thank you, Victoria. Complete fool. He said, I told the judge, F you, I'll move to Mexico. I said, what about your daughter? He said, I'll fly her to Mexico. She can fly there. I own my own business. I'm a construction worker. I'll fly her to Mexico. Her mother has nothing. I said, but you don't need to do that. I see fathers all the time that have that attitude, that are like, look, I'm tired of the foolishness. The system is broken. Very much so, Victoria. And that's what I said. He was like, the attorneys, they just, some of them follow along with the system if they're good in good with the magistrate or the judges. I said, but not all magistrate and judges are like that. I understand, sometimes they play politics, but there are some that really has a heart for the family. And there are some that really desire to do more, but their caseload is so heavy that they can't. But he was just tired. He was just, look, I've been going through this for years. I'm done. There is nothing no counselor can tell me. There's nothing that no attorney can tell me, nothing no judge can tell me. I'm over it. My daughter is a teenager. Pretty soon she'll be grown. I'm done. Her mother clearly has issues. I'm over it. And in my heart, I was thinking, this is so sad, because we have so many fathers that desire to be good fathers. And you know what the reality is there are deadbeat dads out there. And we're not going to ignore the fact that there are not deadbeat dads out there. However, there are deadbeat moms out there as well. Trust me. I know. So there are deadbeat dads, but there are deadbeat moms out there as well. Hello, RJ. Thank you for joining. Hello, Mace. Thank you for joining. And so his story just touched me. Like, wow, this man, and when I'm talking to him, I could hear and see his heart. Like, this man is drained. Like, he is tired. And when I heard the mother on the phone, like, no, he doesn't need to put it in his pickup truck. I'm on my way up there. And he's like, you have a Corolla. You're going to put a bedroom suit and mattress, queen set, in your Corolla. And she was like, I'm going to get some neighbors to help. He was like, I have an entire truck outside. And you, because you don't desire for me to know where you live, you are going to put a mattress on top of your Corolla. And I thought, clearly she has a mental illness. Now, let me explain to you, because a lot of people, and it's funny because I was speaking to my ex-wife. Hello, Daisy. Thank you for joining. Please do like, share, and tag. Miss Victoria said, yes, it is deadbeat dads out there. Miss V, I'm not about to read that entire comment because I'm not about to play with you today. There are deadbeat dads. Again, but there are deadbeat moms out there. And we need to recognize that. And what's funny is the system are beginning to make changes with shared parenting and etc. in some states, because they're beginning to see the effect, because there is an effect. Now, there are some fathers and mothers who desire to be good parents, but because of who they have to parent with, they decided this is just not going to work. And there are some parents I have talked to that just said, you know what, Dr. Jesse, you don't know what I go through. And there are parents I've had to bring into my office that simply needed healing from issues that absolutely had nothing to do with parenting. And then once we confronted and conquered the non-parenting issues, then we were able to build a bridge for them to parent the children that were suffering in dysfunctional homes. Because one thing you have to understand is people that are broken and people that are in dysfunctional homes, if you have a mental illness and you are used to operating in dysfunction, now this part is not just for parents, and I'm going to give it to you for free. If you are used, if dysfunction is, you're used to it and it becomes your norm, you don't know you're in dysfunction because it is your norm. Now, what is mental illness? And I put it in my long description, and I have never created a description this long. That's why I said I know this description is long in the beginning, but it is worth the read, and it is worth the read. So please do take out your 2 or 3 minutes to read it. What is a mental illness? A mental illness is an emotional, a total emotional or intellectual disregard of reality. So someone with a mental illness is anyone that has a total emotional or intellectual disregard for reality. So we may have a desire for it to be one way, but what is the reality? If I completely, emotionally, and intellectually disregard the reality of the current moment, then I am mentally ill. Because what is my reality? And what a lot of people have done, particularly in the minority community, and I can speak of that because I am a minority, is what we have heard is, oh, that's just auntie so-and-so. Oh, that's just cousin so-and-so. That's just who they are. No, that's a spirit. That's a mental illness. That's something that needs to be that diagnosed. That's someone that needs help. And so what has happened, because we have just bypassed it for so long, and that's just so-and-so, and that's just who they are, the generations that came after them has had to deal with it. So now those of us who has become the trailblazers in our families, and now we're dealing with it, it's become hard for us because we have now had to reach back in the generations behind us to research and say, God, when did this thing start? How did this thing start? So now we are sparking conversations for healing to take place, for effective conversations to take place. Because reality is that when you have brokenness, particularly even in homes where there is lack of parenting or lack of fathering, even, with lack of fathering, the study shows, census shows, in homes with lack of fathering, children are 4 times more to be in poverty when the father is not involved. In the child's life, they're more likely to have behavioral issues. They're 2 times likely to become pregnant. They're 7 times more likely to become pregnant. They're more likely to have drug and alcohol abuse. Now, if the other parent does not want to be active, there's nothing you can do about that. But you can attempt to bring healing. And one mistake that single parents make, and I can speak on that. Hello, Cynthia. Thank you for joining. And, I'm a single parent with my 18-year-old daughter. I co-parent with my 9-year-old daughter. My ex-wife and I, we co-parent very well with our 9-year-old daughter. We realize that we are a family unit. She's remarried, and, I respect, her husband. That is my 9-year-old stepfather, but he's not her father. So her and I realize that we have to parent. And reality is that co-parent is very similar to a marriage. We're in a parenting marriage relationship. PMR. We are in a parenting marriage relationship. PMR. Now, that's not an intimate relationship. That's not an inappropriate relationship. I mean, we are connected for life. Our child is our child. She has our DNA. She belongs to us. There is no one, not even step parents. Step parents can love children, but no one will love your child like you love your child. You know, you can be spiritual, you can be professional, but no one will turn up for their babies like a parent, like a mother and a father. So we are in a PMR. We are in a parenting marriage relationship. That is just simply what it is. Again, nothing inappropriate. But we have to communicate. We have to interact because we have a child to raise. And reality is there going to be times that we're going to disagree. There are going to be times that we're going to say, no, I don't like that. There are going to be times that we're going to say, I got to think about that. And you know what? That is what we did when we were married. We didn't agree all the time. We didn't say, you know what, you're right. We didn't come to those agreements quickly. So what you do is you breathe, you step back, and you go back to the drawing board, and then you come back together. If you need a moment, you need a moment, and then you come back together. A lot of mistakes that co-parents make when you're co-parenting or if you're a guardian is the other person feels like they have to be right. That means there's some healing that needs to take place. If you feel like, no, my idea is better, and we're going to go with my idea, then there's some healing that needs to take place. You probably have a mental illness. Are you dealing with reality? Are you dealing with reality? Because reality is that we have to raise this child together. And I personally, thank you very much. Thank you. I personally, one time I told my ex-wife, I see the difference in my 9-year-old's character than I do in my 18-year-old when she was growing up. Because my 18-year-old, her mother and I, we had a straining relationship because I had to take her in and out of court just for foolishness, just crazy things. And it affected my 18-year-old when she was younger. And it affected me. It affected me emotionally. It affected me spiritually. It drained me. And so I saw how it affected my 18-year-old. She had to go to counseling young. My 9-year-old, she's intelligent. She's an honor roll student. She's active in gymnastics. She has a beautiful life. She has 2 homes. She goes back and forth when she wants to. She knows she cannot pit mom against dad or dad against mom because she knows that we communicate. So her life is full. I see the difference. We have to make sure that we're building great foundations for our family units. We have to make sure. And then when I get married, when my partner comes in, my partner will know you're a part of a family unit, and my partner will be respected just like her partner is respected. But my partner will know I'm in a PMR, a parenting marriage relationship. Again, nothing inappropriate, but her and I are connected. We have to raise our 9-year-old. And again, no one will love your child like you love your child. So my partner will know this is how the system is. This is how the system is run. Now, if they want to voice themselves, if they feel like, disrespect in a certain manner, hello, Phil, thank you for joining us. They'll be able to voice themselves. I'm not saying a step parent should be ran over, but you have to understand that when you have a family unit, you have to make sure that there's no dysfunction in the home. We have children that are a hot mess because they're coming out of hot mess homes. Now, was that simple enough? I didn't want to get all big. I just wanted to make it simple. We talk about, spirits transfer in church and etc. It is the same from dysfunctional homes. And we have a lot of youth programs, and I'm all for youth programs. I'm all for them. And I was even talking to a colleague and a friend of mine who oversees a youth program. And I said, it's great to oversee a youth program, but what are we doing for the family units? And that's where I come in. She said, Jesse, that's where I need you to come in. Because it's not logical to give a youth some great tools on how to become better, how to live better, and how to see themselves differently, and then to send them back into a dysfunctional environment with dysfunctional people. Then we lose what you imparted into them. No, ma'am, no, sir. That is not how this works. So what can we offer to the family units? Hello, Donna. Thank you for joining us. So it's great to have a youth program, but what about the family units? Maybe the mother was not taught on how to be wise with her finances. Maybe the mother was not taught on how to be strong, be a strong sister, but yet be a humble sister, because you can be both. Maybe the father was not taught on how to be a good father and how to be consistent. Maybe the family was not taught how to operate with integrity. Maybe they were not taught the importance of educational or vocational. And that's where we come in as a unit. That's where we come in as a community. That's where we come in as a people. And we say, you know what? Enough is enough. We have millions of youth programs. And again, I am an advocate for youth programs. I have children. Hello, Austin. Thank you for joining. Again, with me being a single father with my 18-year-old and having shared parenting with my 9-year-old, I am an advocate for youth programs. But what about the dysfunctional family units? We have adults and we have parents and guardians that just don't know. And so we're empowering our youth, but we have broken family units. We need to implement some things that will empower them to let them know that I know you may not have had this information imparted into you, but we come to show you something different. And we're going to love on you. And as long as you're willing to learn, I'm willing to hang. And one thing I tell my clients as a therapist is that you're not just my client, you're my partner, because we're working together. It's a partnership. So I need you to work with me. I need you to hang with me. I'll hang with you as long as you hang with me, right? Because it's all about accountability and consistency. And I teach my girls that, and integrity. Integrity, accountability, excuse me, and consistency. If we do not have those three components, even us, all people, and I believe in that down to the core of my bones, I believe there is nothing God will not do for us if we maintain integrity, accountability, and consistency. IAC. Integrity, accountability, and consistency. If we maintain those three things, I believe that there is no door that God will not open for us. But we have to begin. Hello, Reed. Thank you for joining us. But we have to begin to open those doors. So what are we doing for our families that are stuck? Again, we have a lot of youth programs. And again, what my colleague said, Jesse, my youth program is booming, but my families need help. I said, okay, what can I do? Because you cannot empower the youth to be great and then send them back into a mess at home. It doesn't work, because they're at home more. They're you for an hour and they're at home more. No, we need to implement a system and implement and create a strategic plan so that this will stay in their mind, and while they're changing, home is changing. Does that make sense? And I feel like sometimes we're not doing enough. We're so busy trying to get our stuff off the ground and make sure we're getting to where we need to get to. We're not looking in our community to say, what can we do? Because change starts from within, not out. Change starts from within. All right? So this was really an impromptu video. It was really an impromptu with my conversation with the gentleman from yesterday. And if you missed it, you can go back in the beginning of this video and listen to it. And also, if you know anyone who needs to begin, hello, Terry, thank you for joining us, who needs to begin the process of starting their journey down their detour. Again, I know my message is long, but I promise you, it take you 2 or 3 minutes to read it. I had to post it. None of us like change. None of us likes entering land that we're not familiar with. And so sometimes we make our journey a little bit longer. So I created and wrote this book. And really it's an e-guide. And I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my first one. And I love this book because it allows you to interact. That's why I love it. It allows you to interact. And my manager, my old manager, she's retired now, and mentor prompted me. She said, Jesse, you have to do this. You have to write this book. I said, I'm not an author. I don't write. She said, you have to write this book. And so it is just 5 steps to hacking your mental detour. Each step has an interaction. Each step has an interaction at the end of it. So it allows you to think, and it allows you to do a self-evaluation. It's on Amazon currently. It is for $12, and the link is in this description. So it's in the content. I love it. Also, I have a free e-guide for family units. It's called Changing My Mind Will Change My Family. You know, as family units, this is for co-parents, married couples, for guardians. Changing My Mind will change my family unit. You know, with me co-parenting again and also being a single father, I know every emotion that comes with parenting. You know, whether with someone in the home or outside of the home, we can become depleted. Sometimes we can allow others to govern our emotions, and sometimes not even know it until the end. And then we wake up one day and say, you know what, it's time to have progressive movement. And so I wrote a free e-guide, and it's a little short e-guide, but I promise you it is a thought-provoking e-guide. And from that, I'm also going to write a book of my experiences, and it's going to be similar to this Hacking Your Mental Detour, because I want everything that I do not just to be something that sells. And this has actually been doing well on Amazon. And when I tell you I'm grateful to God, that is exactly what I mean. I am grateful to God. It has been doing well. But everything I do, I want it to be thought-provoking. I want someone to come back and say, Jesse, this changed me. This changed me. This changed my family. This changed my mindset. I've done this since I've, started walking this journey with you. And really, I tell people all the time, we're all a piece up to the puzzle. So we help each other. None of us know everything. I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. So we get nuggets from each other. And I implore you, If you have an organization and you're on here, a ministry, a business, inbox me. Let's talk. We all are a piece to the puzzle. What are we doing? If you have a movement and no one knows about it, how are you going to be effective? Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for joining. Hello, Brian. Thank you for joining. Hello, Craig. Thank you for joining. Again, this was just an impromptu video after talking to the Father yesterday. I had to get on here and do it. But again, this book is available on Amazon, $12, and it has, after every step, 5 steps of hacking your mental detour. After every step is a questionnaire, an assessment, and again, everything I want to be thought-provoking. So the link, the Amazon link to get the book is in the content of this post. Also, for the free e-guide, you can go to my website, join our Redefining family. Changing My Mind Will Change My Family. That little e-guide, again, I wrote. If you are a co-parent, a parent, a guardian, if you know someone else that needs blessed, that free e-guide is also interactive. Right now, I'm just doing interactive because I want everything to be thought-provoking. I really do want our people to change. I want to see people blessed. I want to see people prospering. I want to see people moving into the next dimension. My 18-year-old always says, Dad, you be celebrating folks like you know everybody. And I say, Brianna, because I want to see people go to the next dimension. We have been delayed long enough. When do we say enough is enough? I'm not going to let people control my emotions, my business, my finances. It's time to go to the next dimension. I have to get there no matter what. Please read through this and let's begin to make the change. I have some other great special announcements. I'll be coming back tomorrow, which is Wake Up Wednesday. So I'll be coming back tomorrow afternoon to talk to you. And I just want you to think about, what do you need to do? But make sure to get Hacking Your Mental Detour. If not for you, gift it to someone that you know needs to wake up, needs to start to examine themselves, their families, and need to know that it is okay to come from that stuck place, because we've all been there, and go to the next dimension. All right. I love you all. Have a great Redefining Tuesday. Until the next time.